Welcome to Pod Me If You Can TV, and today's film, Lloyd, I hear it's Infested.
This week we have Infested, starring the beautiful Amy Jo Johnson, who my generation especially all had a huge crush on her as the pink Power Ranger from the TV show Power Rangers. It also stars Gremlin's Zach Galligan and Breaking Bad's Mark Margolis. A tragic death brings a group of friends back together again, and they spend the weekend at the vacation getaway from their childhood. They are later attacked by a swarm of mutant flies who possess their hosts and turn them into zombies. Now, the first probably 30 minutes of this film, where they all meet up at the funeral and we get all the exposition, you know, the talky scenes, I actually liked. The characters are at the age now where they have to settle for mediocrity, that their rebellious youth have now been deflated into, you know, a more conventional lifestyle. But then the monsters attack. Now, they should have simply gone the zombie route with this movie. This film would have really pulled this off. The blood and gore you briefly see are actually pretty good. And the movie is such a rip-off of Night of the Living Dead, where you have the old house and they have to hold out against these monsters. And I would really love to see a budget comparison of this movie, because I bet it was made for way more than George A. Romero's film that came out in 1968. And this film doesn't even come close to that classic. Really, if the producers just went the simple zombie route, it would have been cheaper and they could have pulled this movie off. The biggest issue with this movie are the monsters. The special effects were so horrible. I cannot emphasize how bad it was, especially some of the explosions, the swarm of flies. Oh my gosh, it was shocking. There's a scene where they use fly spray, and I swear the actors are just holding up empty cans. I couldn't even tell if there was digital spray or not, and like it's killing all the flies. And what the flies do is they basically fly into the mouths of their victims, and then they infest inside and basically turn their host into like zombies. They can still run and stuff like that. Some of them can still speak, but they're pretty much just zombies, you know. So most of the time all you get are actors opening up their mouth while all digital flies fly out. It's really embarrassing. The special effects were some of the lowest I have ever seen. The choreography for the action scenes as well were pretty much non-existent. It's as if the producers had never sat down to watch an action movie as well. They were really bad. And there was even a scene where the characters play the song Da 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 by Trio, and it acts like a distraction to the zombies, like they just start walking around. I cannot emphasize how ridiculous this scene was. I just can't imagine actors sitting around with a screenplay talking about it, acting it out, and then agreeing to do it. It is so humiliating. It's probably one of the worst scenes I've ever seen. I think Amy Jo Johnson did a pretty solid job. In fact, there is a shower scene with her guys, but no nudity, of course. This might be nostalgia talking, but I still think she looks very attractive and is still a very good lead. She's a very physical actor and actress rather, and moves really well with the action. So I think she's you know, cast pretty well as in an action monster sort of movie. Mark Margolis is easily the best in the movie. He's only in it for like 2 or 3 scenes, but his screen presence is really immense. This is a very low budget movie. There was no respect for the design of the monsters. There was no choreography to the action. I feel they had an adequate cast and all the ingredients to make a decent horror movie, but poor special effects, like really poor special effects, poor design and poor direction just make this one of the worst horror movies I have ever seen.
Wow. I'm embarrassed to admit that I was amongst a group of people who went to see one of the Power Rangers films at the movies.
Which one did you see?
Look, I couldn't tell you. The green Power Ranger was in it.
Oh, yeah. That was, I think, Ivan Ooze. Everyone saw that movie.
I guess so. It's like a weird generational thing, isn't it? So yeah. I'm very familiar with the pink Power Ranger, and I get that her action training in Power Rangers would prepare her for this. Yeah. But the issue is Power Rangers, they film it like all the scenes internationally. It's in every nation has their own Power Rangers set, and so all the action stuff where they're actually wearing the costumes, all they do for that is the voiceover part. They don't do any of the action, any of the fighting. That's all filmed once. I'm
not listening, Dave. Don't ruin the magic of my childhood.
Yeah, and so the only action she would have done through Power Rangers would have been the early stuff.
Sure.
Anyway, look, I remember it well, but you know, I'm probably not going to check out Infested.
No, don't. It's pretty bad.
I won't. All right, guys. Well, you can find more obscure, rare podcast reviews at our YouTube channel. Find us in iTunes. Find us at www.podmeifyoucan.com.